Good morning, YouTube. This is for my channel, Power of the Spoken Words. I want to clarify something the other day that I said about time and resources, and I said that money is not everything. Money is a big part of resources, when you're taking care of a family. So resources does include money. So I want to clarify that, because one of my videos I said that money wasn't a part of the resource, and it is. It's one of the big part of resource, because that's what you're spending. It's money. So this part that I'm talking about now of time and resources, my sons. So when my son started going to school, kindergarten, middle school to high school, when they were in middle school, the teacher said that, I'm not to tell you what they diagnosed them with, but one of my youngest son, they put him on Ritalin, and the oldest one, they were saying he's having all these problems in school, and they don't know what to do with them. And it got frustrating as a parent, because you just see things happening with your child and you don't know how to correct it. So I took off a couple of days from my job, because it was even affecting my job, because there's a lot of times that I'm at work and the school calling and said you need to come talk to your sons, or they're doing this, they're getting disciplined, all these things there's a call. And if you go to the school and based on your reaction, they'll call the city, let the city know how you're treating the child, and the city wants to come into your house and see how your living surroundings are, and determine if the child should be in your home. So I took off a couple of days and went into this. They told me that I couldn't do it, but I did anyway, and sat in my son's class, and it's almost 35 kids to a class with one teacher. So of course that teacher can't control that room or what's going on in the class. They can't. There's too many kids. My youngest, they said, had a problem too, and I know something was off, because at about 6, 7, my youngest read the autobiography of Malcolm X and the book The ISIS Papers. Yes, he did. And my oldest was very good. I thought he was a math genius, because math was his thing. And what I learned about math is that if you could solve math, then you could solve a lot of problems. So that's what math have you focus on, is solving problems. So they diagnosed my sons, and I went to the school and asked them, they diagnosed and told them what was wrong, and what they feel that should happen, and what they should, medication. They always have a medication. So about, I want to say 3 months after my sons were on this medication, I told my wife, listen, I want them off the medication, and we're going to try private school. And the school said, we just can't take them off it like that. We have to get authorization. I don't need authorization to take my kids off medication. So we put them in private school. Now, a little backstory, while they were in public school, they were just not advancing. They were just always in trouble. So my wife found a private school, and we put them in private school. And I want to say within 5 to 6 months, they started adjusting. So we're at work one day, and the school called and said that we need to come to the school. So I'm like, wait a minute, even private school they're having problems with? Maybe the school was right. So we got to the private school, and went into the dean's office, and my youngest, because they wear uniforms. So my youngest is sitting there next to the dean, and my oldest is against the oldest one is against the wall. So I came in and I said to the dean, what is this about? Because I'm really mad at my youngest one, because I know that's who they're going to say is having the problem, because he's always the one with the problems. So I said to him, my youngest son, what did you do? And the dean said, no, he didn't do anything. It's the oldest one. So what do you mean the oldest one? I said, yeah, it's the oldest one. It's not this one. It's the oldest one. What happened? He said, oh, he was caught cutting class. So I turned to look at my youngest one and said, and why is he here? He said, oh, well, he's a hall monitor. What's a hall monitor? They said, well, you know, because your son have a B+ average, you know, he's very, you know, very articulate. So, you know, we have him he's a hall monitor. You know, if the kids don't get permission from the teacher to leave the class and leave the class, well, your son, your youngest son is who fill out the paperwork. And he had a little booklet that he was filling out paperwork in. So we always thought he was going to become a police officer, because I was saying to him, you little snitch. So the teacher said, no, he's not, you know, just this is what we have the ones that are doing good do, and the ones that are doing bad, you know, we try to correct it. So I'm looking at my oldest like, why would he be in trouble? You know, this boy is a you know, he's very articulate in math. You know, at age 10, he was reading the maps with the trains, and he knew east, west, north, and south with maps and directions. So I couldn't figure why I was getting in trouble. So after that, we came home, and I put my oldest one aside and asked him, you know, what happened? Because he's very smart. I remember one time when he was in public school, going into the school, and he was in trouble because they said he was in the class laughing. And I was asking him, what's so funny? He said, the math problem. I said, why would the math problem be funny? He said, well, if you solve the problem, it's a joke. So since the rest of the kids in the class didn't solve the problem, then they didn't get the joke. Okay. So he wrote it down, and he showed me what he's talking about. I didn't see the joke. He solved the problem, but I didn't see the joke. But anyway, it was a joke. So when he came to private school, he decided that he wasn't going to be himself. He was going to be the class clown, because then he felt that he'll be more acceptable. But understand, he went from a class of 30, almost 35, 40 to a class of now 10, 15. Okay? So he didn't want anybody to think that he was smart, so he started getting in trouble. So I said to him, you shouldn't have to hide who you are to please people, because then you're silencing yourself. Don't do that. Don't silence yourself. Be yourself, you know, because if you don't be yourself, then you're a follower. And I don't want you to be a follower. I want you to be a leader. So after that, we had no problems with him in school at all. No problems at all. He went to school. I told him, if the kids think, because a lot of times they're going to tell you think you're better than them. They're going to always have an issue of why you should